All right, today we're going to break down an absolute masterclass in teaching. Seriously. It's this lesson plan that takes 5-year-olds and turns them from kids who just learn about the weather into actual scientists who investigate it. It's just a brilliant blueprint for teaching kids how to think.
So, that's a huge question, right? How in the world do you teach a 5-year-old to think like a scientist? How do you get them past just, memorizing facts and actually get them into the real process of discovery? Well, this lesson plan, it has a pretty powerful answer.
The secret isn't just drilling them on the names of different clouds. Nope, it's about building a whole process, a real framework for discovery. And we're going to walk through this week-long lesson called Weather Watchers. It literally takes these kids on a complete journey, all the way from just being curious to drawing their own conclusions.
Okay, so the whole thing kicks off with a classic teaching model you might have heard of. I do. And the idea here is super important. The teacher doesn't just tell the students what to do. No, they get up there and model the entire scientific process, from the very beginning to the very end. They're making their own thinking totally visible.
But before they can even start, first things first, the teacher has to lay the groundwork with some key vocabulary. And this isn't about a test or a quiz, not at all. It's about giving these young scientists the tools, the actual words they need to describe what they're seeing.
So the first big word is observe, to look at something carefully to learn about it. And that word carefully is so important, right? It tells them this is an active thing. You're not just kind of looking around. You're looking with a real purpose.
Next up, pattern. And this is really the big prize for the whole week. The teacher is basically planting a flag on day one saying, hey, we're not just looking at today's weather. We're on a mission to find connections, to see what happens over and over again.
And finally, the word forecast. This is what connects everything back to the real world. Why do we even bother looking for patterns? Well, so we can make a really good guess about what's coming next. It's the whole reason real meteorologists do what they do. It's the why behind everything.
Now, this is where the modeling gets really powerful. The teacher does something called a think aloud. They literally say their thoughts out loud as they make an observation. They're showing the kids exactly how their brain turns what they see with their eyes into a drawing, into a piece of data. It completely demystifies the whole process. Okay, so after the kids have seen the whole process modeled for them, we move into the next phase, we do. And this is where the students go from just watching to actually doing. And it all starts with them building their very own scientific tools. And just look at how simple this is. It's a paper tube, a few streamers, and some string. But this is so much more than just a fun arts and crafts project. This is a collaborative engineering challenge. They are literally building the exact tools they're going to use for their own investigation. And what's so cool is that the tool's purpose is instantly obvious. The Windsock gives them a super simple visual way to measure the wind. Is it gentle, with the streamers hanging down, or is it strong, with the streamers flying sideways? They can see the answer right away, turning something invisible, the wind, into something they can actually see and record. And that, right there, is the magic of this whole stage. Something totally abstract, like wind speed, suddenly becomes something real, something tangible that they can see and then write down. That little homemade Windsock, it's like a bridge connecting the real world to their little data sheet.
And that brings us to, really, the climax of this whole journey, the you-do phase. This is the moment the teacher steps back, the training wheels come off, and the students become the lead scientists. They're heading out into the field to conduct their own research.
So they're armed with their Windsocks and this super simple checklist. And now they can collect data in a systematic way. Think about how empowering that is. They're not just running around outside anymore. They're conducting sensory checks, recording their findings. They're acting just like real field scientists.
But of course, science isn't something you do all by yourself in a vacuum, right? So the teacher gives them this simple sentence starter. I notice the wind is... This little prompt gets them to turn to a partner and share what they found. They're practicing how to communicate like scientists, how to talk about what they've observed.
And right here, in this phase, you see this incredible shift in their identity. These kids are no longer just passive learners, waiting to be told things. By taking ownership of this whole process, they have become the experts on today's weather.
So, okay, a whole week of this goes by. They've observed, they've recorded. What's the result? Well, now we get to the payoff. This is the moment where all those little individual pieces of data start to come together to tell a bigger story. Just look at this. The power of a simple chart like this is amazing. As they fill it out each day, it becomes a visual story of their week. You can see it clear as day, right? It was sunny, then the clouds came in, and bam, the week ended with rain.
And this is the big aha moment. The students can now look at the data they collected and see the pattern for themselves, the very thing the teacher talked about on day one. It's not just some idea from a book anymore, it's a real discovery they made all on their own.
And here's the proof in the pudding. This is basically the final test. The students can now actually talk about their data, describe the week's weather pattern. They can say things like it was mostly sunny or it got colder as the week went on. They've done it. They've completed the entire scientific process.
So let's just recap this brilliant recipe for a second. First, the I do. The teacher shows them how it's all done. Then, the we do. They build their tools and practice together. Then comes the you do. The students take the lead and become real investigators. And finally, the payoff. The data they collected reveals a pattern. It's just a perfect way to build up scientific thinking, step by step.
And really, that's the big idea we want to leave you with. If this model works so well for weather, just imagine what other mysteries young scientists could solve with it, right? What kinds of plants grow in the schoolyard? What bugs live under that big rock over there? The process is exactly the same. The possibilities, well, they're absolutely endless.